We all like the story of the underrated, the people that just, or players in the NFL rather, that just come out, dominate, and don't get any love for it. That's going to end here tonight, because tonight we are giving you our 5 most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. Before we get into our 5, we even got a couple of honorable mentions for you guys. Before we get into all these players, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we get from you guys. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. Now, a couple premises here that I have to start out by saying. Number one, it's really easy for people to take a look at a wide receiver who's accomplished quite a lot and to think, okay, well, he hasn't gotten the Pro Bowlers, he hasn't gotten the love, whatever. I'm talking the true most underrated list, but I'd also be willing to see what you guys have to say about it. Please don't be shy about letting us know what you think about our list as we get into it, and where we got it right, where we got wrong, vice versa. Well, that's kind of the same thing. Anyway, let's go with honorable mention numero uno. Oh boy. Courtland Sutton. That's right. Some people might actually kind of be a little upset that I'm not even putting him on the list, but I think he's an honorable mention because he's been in the league a couple years now. 3 seasons now. He's going to his 4th season. A guy that is formerly out of SMU. Obviously came in his first year, caught 42 passes for 704 yards and 4 TDs, as well as the next year came back and absolutely blew up. I'm talking 72 catches, 1,112 yards and 6 touchdowns. This man absolutely balled with a lack of quarterback talent, and that's right. Drew Lock is he's not a savant right now. I think anybody can agree with that. So this man going out there having an 1,100 yard season and only his 2nd year in the NFL is definitely worth praise. I think he's going to come back from that torn ACL, and I think he's going to really, really excite a lot of people and do some great things. Honorable mention numero dos. I think that's how you say it too in Spanish. Marvin Jones. That's right. Marvin Jones. It's hard to have a love for a guy that just always embarrassed my Vikings, but I got to give love to this man. Has always been there and done some great things, whether he's with the Bengals, the Lions, or now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I mean, it could be, one of the favorite targets of Trevor Lawrence. Now we'll have to see. But we're talking about a guy that has over 6,000 career yards, over 420 catches, 50 career touchdowns, has had double-digit touchdowns once, and has had back-to-back 9-touchdown seasons, as well as another one in 2017. But in 2019 and 2020 was his back-to-back seasons of having over 9 touchdowns. He's just a menace on the field. He's a tough guy out there, and honestly, he's a dynamic playmaker. He has been for a while, and in my opinion, he does not get enough love. That's right. That's where we're stopping it right here. Marvin Jones, honorable mention number 2. And now we get into our 5. We get into our 5 most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. Number 5, Allen Robinson. That's right. I felt like I debated with this one. Well, I debated with all these quite a bit. But Allen Robinson does not get nearly enough love because of the lack of quarterback talent that he has around him and has had ever since, especially joining the Bears and the Jaguars. Blake Bortles, I don't know. But I will say that at the end of the day, I've absolutely loved what he's done in the NFL. Now he's not a burner, but I mean he leaves his mark on the field every single time. We're talking about a guy that has 3 1,000-yard seasons, scored double-digit touchdowns once in his career in 2015. Has had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons his last couple years with the Bears. He's clearly the number 1 option in Chicago. It's not even a debate at this point. That's how it goes. But Allen Robinson does not get nearly enough praise. And I mean, who knows? If we really see some great play from Justin Fields, I really think that Allen Robinson could blow up and finally get the respect that this man deserves, because he is severely underrated and he needs more love. Now, number 4, Tyler Boyd. That's right. Tyler Boyd, the wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals, the all-time leading pass catcher for the University of Pittsburgh. In my mind, guess who we beat out? I can't remember the name. Oh, yeah. Larry Fitzgerald. Maybe we know him as a future Hall of Famer, all-time great. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to slow down the enthusiasm. No, I won't. We're talking about a guy that has over 3,700 career receiving yards. And in my mind, he just doesn't get enough love because of these last 3 seasons. He has been dynamite. Back-to-back seasons of 1,000 yards receiving in 2018 and 2019. Had 7 touchdowns in 2018. Had 5 in 2019, excuse me. And then this last year, I just think that with everything going on right now with the Bengals, Joey Burrow going to come back. I think he's going to do some big time stuff in year 2. And I'm really excited for what he does there because he's just going to be a fun player to watch. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I felt like the Vikings should have taken a flyer on Tyler Boyd early, back all the way back then in the 2016 NFL draft, but they didn't. It is what it is. We're moving on. We're moving on to bigger and better things. But he has absolutely been a go-to wide receiver. I think he's been overshadowed by A.J. Green for a large portion of his career. Understandable, because it took him a couple years to get going. But these last 3 seasons, you get him in fantasy. I've always gotten him. He's done great for me. You just love what you see from a guy like Tyler Boyd. What are we on? Oh, yeah. We're on number 3. Tyler Lockett. Now, this one, I feel really bad about this one. I feel I hurt down in my depths of my soul here. Former third-round pick of the 2015 NFL Draft. Kansas State. Funny story, my brother actually was a pitcher at Kansas State on the practice squad. Okay, we'll get back into it. But Lockett, a guy that has almost 4,900 career receiving yards, 37 touchdowns, also 3 straight seasons of just being phenomenal. I mean, we're talking about a guy that had 100 catches last year, over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. The second time in his career, he went over the double-digit touchdown mark. Also at 2019, the year before that, another 1,000-yard season, 8 touchdowns. I get it. DK Metcalf is a menace, and he's going to be a bad man. But I got to be honest with you. I feel like Tyler Lockett just doesn't get any of the amount of love that he should. And quite frankly, it is a catastrophe. It is awful, the amount of disrespect that this man gets. He is a bona fide playmaker when he's returning the football, catching the football, running the football. Doesn't matter. Tyler Lockett does it all. He deserves more love. Number 2, Terry McLaurin. That is right. McLaurin, excuse me. I always say that wrong. I'm so sorry. It's Terry McLaurin, a second-year pro, a former third-round pick out of the Ohio State, 6 foot 209. If we're looking basically at, he had some really modest college numbers, but there is no denying his impact, especially in the NFL. He is clearly the number 1 option for the Washington football team, and there is no denying it because he is absolutely amazing. But we referenced, his not so much big-time college stats. Now, he did have 11 touchdowns his senior year, but he only had 35 catches for 700 yards. Had 20 yards per catch, which was very impressive, but 11 touchdowns only really seemed to do it for 1 year. But, we'll have to go ahead and see. Now, Terry McLaurin, in my mind, has been one of those guys that just did not, didn't just start to be good. He was always good. I felt like in the NFL, he definitely found his game. And he is a guy that NFL defenses just know. And however this quarterback situation plays out between Ryan Fitzpatrick and Taylor Heineke, who deserves a shot to start. He deserves a shot to start. I'll have this debate with anybody. But Terry McLaurin is the real deal, absolute real deal. We're talking about a guy that's over 2,000 receiving yards in 2 seasons in the NFL, has 11 total touchdowns. But I do think that Terry McLaurin definitely, has a lot. We're going to call him Terry M. Terry M. Scary Terry. Needs a lot of love because he is a dynamic playmaker for the Washington football team, can stretch the field. He's got great hands, great speed. You love what you see from the man, and he just needs more love starting right now. And then finally, number 1, this has been a long time coming, but nobody has finally said it. I'm coming out to say it. That's right. Number 1, Keenan Allen. That's right. And mark my words. Keenan Allen, he is 29 years old right now. Only needs a couple more years. I think he's going to reach the 10,000-yard mark in receiving. I really do. We're talking about a guy that has had 4, nearly 5. Okay, fine. Sorry. 4 nearly 5 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Has a total of 42 touchdown catches in his career. Nearly 7,400 receiving yards, over 620 catches. Now, in my mind, he just hasn't gotten the amount of love that he has deserved, and I don't know for what reason. You talk about travesties. This man has had before this last season in which he had 992 yards. Just sneeze, give him a catch, a screen pass, and he's got 1,000 yards for the 4th straight season. But we're talking about a guy that overall has had, had 3 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons, at least 6 touchdowns in each of those receiving touchdowns in each of those seasons. Now, I think there could be a lot of knock on this one because he's had pretty good quarterback play. He's had very good quarterback play in my mind from guys like Phillip Rivers. and now guys like Justin Herbert. But at the end of the day, Keenan Allen, no matter what, hasn't gotten the love he has deserved, and it is an absolute travesty. That's right, I've said it. I think this man absolutely deserves the love he gets, and I think it just comes down to the fact honestly, you got to stop underrating him because he is an absolute. I think he's nearly a lock for the Hall of Fame. I think a couple more 1,000-yard seasons, at least 50 to 60 touchdowns. I think he's in. But let us know what you guys think about our list of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire NFL. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Check out our website at thesportsbeatpodcast.com. In the description down below, you will find all of our all of our social media platforms. So make sure you drop us a like and a follow there. If you do have anything you would like us to cover, make sure you put it in the comment section down below, or just email us at thesportsbp@yahoo.com. And we'd be very, very glad to go ahead and take care of that for you guys, or give us at least our spin on things. Also, give us a listen and a follow on iTunes. We greatly appreciate it. But at the end of the day, let us know what you think about our list of the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. But we appreciate you guys for joining us.